Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 6. Week 6, day 1. And our essential question for this week is, how can things in nature be used to make new things? In this picture, the girl has an orange and she's making something from it. She's making orange juice. Well, a couple of our vocabulary words. One is natural resources. So natural resources are things in nature like trees, rocks, soil, and water. Those are good examples. And another word for us this week is create. Create is just to make something. And maybe you've been doing a lot of creating. Maybe you've been looking in nature and out in your backyard or on your walks and finding things. And we are going to be talking about that this week. So our vowel pattern this week is going to be long O. And we have been looking at long A, long I, and now long O. Now, some words that have long O in them are globe, rope. Listen to this one, nose, and yo-yo. Do you hear the O in all of those words? Well, in some of those words, we're going to use the O silent E pattern. And when we use the vowel consonant silent E, we know that O is going to say its long sound because silent E will be at the end. So let's make a few words that have the O silent E pattern. Here's the first one we're going to look at. And when we did long I, we did the word ride. I'm going to ride my bike. But this is rode. Rode my bike. Like I rode my bike to the store. And that means you already did it. And here's O. Here's silent E. And it's R-O-D-E, road. If we did not have E there, it would be rod because O says aw for short sound. But here comes magic E. It's going to sit there and help O say O. So road is a word that we can put in that vowel pattern. O, magic E. Here's one. Here's a funny one. Joke. J-oke. Joke. And when you tell a joke, that's something that's funny. J-O-K-E. You can read that one. Let's say the sounds for this one. Vote. Vote. Vote is when you put your idea in for some choice that you want to make. How about oh, Did you figure out what this word is? Home. That's right, it's home. Now, if I just change one letter, I can use the H again to make a brand new word, hope. I hope that I get a piece of candy for a prize, or I hope that I get a red bicycle. Hope. So there's O and the silent E pattern. We're going to be looking at that this week. So let's look at some pictures that might have the O silent E pattern on them, or sound like O silent E, or just long O. And we're going to put a circle around pictures that have O, and we're going to put an X on pictures that do not have O, that maybe have a different vowel sound. So the first picture is a bus. Bus. Do you hear O in bus? No, we hear in the middle. Okay, so that one would be an X. How about rope? Rope. You hear O? If you do, circle it. If you don't, put an X. Bone. Bone. Rose. Rose. Cot. caught. And this animal is a mole. Mole. Moles dig underground. That's why they have these claws on them. They dig under tunnels underground. Here we have home. Home. Oh, this dog was naughty. He dug a hole. He dug a hole. And the last one is mop. Mop. On the back of this page, we're thinking about what order things happen. And you did a writing activity where you talked about your day or something you did during the day. And you talked about it first, then, and finally. Well, this chef is going to be making some bread. He has to do things first, then, and finally. So first, second, third. We're going to put a number 1 next to the first thing this baker needs to do to make bread. So let's look at the pictures. The first picture shows him putting it in the oven to cook. Number 2 shows him cutting up the little wheat berries and making them into flour. Now, flour is an ingredient. It's something that we need in order to make bread. Number 3 shows the baker mixing or kneading up the dough. So the wheat is the first thing that you need. You have to have wheat so that you can grind it up into flour. Do you remember the little red hen? Did you listen to that story? Remember, she took her wheat to the mill to have it ground into flour. So that's number 1. So next to that, you'll put just a number 1. Straight line, please. No little hooks or lines on the bottom. When we do number 1, we just do a straight line, please. Okay. Now, does he mix up the dough next, or does he cook it? Think about that for a minute. Can we cook bread before we mix it? Or do we need to mix the bread and then cook it? So if you're thinking about that, yes, would we mix the bread after it's already cooked? No, we need to do that next. So this is going to be number 2. This was first, this is second, and so a number 2 goes there for the second thing. And so then finally, we get to bake our wonderful bread. And since this was first and this was second, I bet you can guess what number goes for third. Can you guess what it is? That's right, it's a 3. 1, 2, 3. So the pictures are not in order, are they? Now, the first thing he had to do is in the middle here. That's the first thing. So they were all mixed up. Okay, so let's move on to our long O words that we're going to look at. So we have O silent E pattern. You did a page like this for A silent E and I silent E. So you've done this page before. Number 1, the arrow is pointing to the pole. The pole. And so we want to trace the O and E, and we want to read this word, pole. Okay? Number 2, the arrow is pointing to the cone. Not the ice cream, but the cone. O, we need to put an O, and silent E. So we need to write in the O and silent E. Then read the word cone. C-O-N-E. Number 3. This is a robe. 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 And you know that you're going to put the O and silent E in and then read the word robe. Number 4. This is a hose. A hose. And I think you know what to do, and then read each of these words again. Maybe you've been using a hose to help water plants if you were helping. That was our question 2 weeks ago. Okay, so on the back is a free write, and We haven't had a free write for a little while. I've been asking you to write special things. This one at the bottom says to write about the little book this week, but you do not have to do that. You can write anything you want. Write our fast as a snap words that we've learned, write some long O words, write the names of your family, write a sentence. All of those would be great things to write. I'm going to put our fast as snap words that we have been learning: play, has, to, help, what, and this. I'm going to put those on the screen for a moment so that you could use those in your writing. You could even write a sentence about this. What can you see? How can you help? I can help. I like to play too. Or you can just write these words and practice some other words that you would like to practice. Okay, so have a fun time with your free write. And I'm going to do part 2 will be your math time. So this is week 6, day 1, part 1. And I'm going to do week 6, day 1, part 2, and that will be your math. All right, I'll see you next time.